Okay, now I'm going to tell you about IELTS reading module. And in reading, we have three types of reading styles. You may call them reading styles, or you may call them three strategies for IELTS reading module. First of all, remember, for IELTS reading, it is not important that you read all the passages. Some students ask me this question, should we read all the passages? Number two, it is not important that you read the passage first and then you read the questions. Remember, with each passage, you have 13 questions. With one passage, you have 14 questions. What does it mean? It means there are 13 sentences in the passage which you have to read to answer the questions. If I do one thing, I give you one question and one sentence that contains the answer. You got my point? One question, one sentence, one question, one sentence. You can do all 40 questions in 30 minutes. Okay, the problem is to scan the right part of the passage where there is the answer and then to find the answer. Some students, they waste a lot of time scanning that part of the passage. So today, I would like to tell you about three reading techniques. Number one, scanning. Number two, skimming. Number three, reading, careful reading. We call it reading comprehension. Okay. Now, whenever you read the question, you need to see, by the way, in IELTS reading, do we need to read the questions first or the passage first? Questions first. Okay. And there is one type of questions where you need to read the passage first. Which type is that? List of headings. List of headings. Where you read the passage first and then you come to questions. Okay. Now, in IELTS reading, there are mainly two types of questions. One type is where questions and answers are in order, and second type is where they are not in order. So where questions and answers are not in order, there you need this reading skill. We call it scanning. When you are scanning, are you reading? No, you're not reading. You're only searching. You're looking for specific words, specific information. Okay. In the question, the word is New York. And you are looking for New York, New York, New York. New N capital, Y capital. I can easily find first paragraph. And when you scan, it is not necessary to scan from left to right. You can scan like this. Or advanced level, you can scan like this. Zigzag. Or you can scan like waves. You are looking for specific word. So this is scanning. The purpose of scanning is to reach the right part of the passage, and those who scan, and when they reach the right part of the passage and then they start reading, only those students, candidates can actually complete their IELTS reading in 1 hour. And those who read everything, padhunga nahi to samajh kaise aayegi? Right? So they are going to waste a lot of time. Now, the first thing is, when you read the question, for example, you're doing true, false, not given, sentence completion, multiple choice question and all that. When you read the question, usually what happens, questions 1 to 6, answers start coming from first or second paragraph. Then you have questions 7 to 13, true, false, not given. Answers will come from after first 6, 7 questions, and then you can find them. So read the question carefully. Sometimes you will find a very obvious clue word. For example, New York. For example, 1907. That is obvious clue word. You can easily find it. Otherwise, you will have to interpret. You will have to see, okay, they are talking about recent studies. Now, where are recent studies? For recent studies, they can use the word latest research. Recent studies, and the synonym is latest research. So sometimes you need to look for the synonyms, sometimes direct words and all that. Now, once you reach the place where you know there is the answer, the first target is to reach that very paragraph which contains the answer. The second target is to reach that line where there is that answer. And the third target is to read and find it. Okay. Now, this is scanning. And scanning is not reading. Those who read while scanning, they will waste a lot of time. For example, if answer is in third paragraph, and first you read first paragraph, then you read second paragraph. By the time you reach third paragraph, you have wasted a lot of time. Okay. So, after that, we talk about skimming. Now, what is skimming and where do we need skimming? We need skimming only for one question type, and that is which paragraph contains the following, it's a list of headings, okay? You need skimming. Whenever you skim, if you remember IELTS essay writing, in essay writing, when you write your body paragraphs, I tell you, start your body paragraph with the main idea, right? Then elaborate that main idea, then give example, at the end conclude the main idea. So whenever you skim, the first sentence of the paragraph is important if there is the main idea. And if they start with a general comment, then the second sentence is important. Sometimes they go on and they conclude with the main idea. So then the last sentence, okay? So it's not always the first, sometimes it is the first sentence. Otherwise, the second sentence, you need to read first couple of sentences. And when you skim, do you read or not? You read. When you skim, you read. And if you skim in a scanning style, you will not understand anything, okay? Now, when you skim read, always remember in English, we have 7 parts of speech, right? Out of them, 7 or 8 or 9, whatever, right? So out of these parts of speech, most important words are nouns, verbs. You've confused me, all right? It's noun, verbs, adjectives, right? Nouns, verbs, and adjectives. These words can clarify everything. For example, if I want to drink water, right, and my complete sentence is, I would like to drink some water, please. And if I only say, I would like drink, you understand? And if I say, water, please, you understand. What is water? Water is noun. So sometimes it's noun, sometimes it's verb, otherwise it is adjective. So when you skim read, you need to focus the nouns and verbs carefully so that you understand what they are and how to use them. And finally, we have a reading that is called reading comprehension. Anybody can read English. I mean, those who are literate, they can read English. But to understand what you read is the main thing. Sometimes you read a complete paragraph and then you ask yourself, "Ye kya keh raha hai?" I don't know anything, okay? You're reading, but you don't understand. So for that, it is not, for IELTS, it is not necessary that you know every word, that you know the meaning of every word. When I solve IELTS reading test, you may have seen me solving the reading test, there are many words that I don't know, but I know the function of those words. I know this word is the name of a process, this word is the name of a technique, this word is part of a machine, this word is this word is that. So for that, it is not necessary that you know the meaning of every word. You can guess some of the words, okay? Now, in order to comprehend what you read, it's better to visualize what you read. If I'm reading about certain piece of machinery, if I'm reading about a study on zebras, I need to visualize zebras in that way. So visualization can help you understand as well. And one more thing, if you read and you do not understand, then it's a good idea to translate some of the passages into your language. I don't recommend translation, by the way, for IELTS reading, IELTS listening, because you need to understand English into English, right? When did I start to understand English into English? When I joined French language classes. You know what happened? I was a student of French language. When I joined French language classes, the teacher taught me French language from English to French. So I had no other choice. My only choice was understand English into English and then French. For example, do you speak French? Parlez-vous français? Yes, I can speak French. Oui, je parle français. For example. Now I cannot say, oui, je parle français. Yes, I speak French. जी हाँ, मैं French बोल सकता हूँ. Right? So when there is another language, you can. And secondly, when you feel English into English, and when you're, self-talk, or when you're commenting or when you're talking to yourself, we call it heart-to-heart talk. So when your heart-to-heart talk is in English, sometimes for practice, even then you can understand English into English. But to cut it short, when you read the passages, switch on your imagination, understand all the things, and there are 14 points in the passage where you have to touch to find the answer. Now, if you read everything, I have noticed one thing, that covers, if you do one passage, that covers only 20 to 30% part of the passage to answer all the questions. Only 20 to 30%. What does it mean? It means 70 to 80% information is extra, which you irrelevant, which you do not have to read. And what is relevant for you? The questions. The questions are relevant. Okay, so read less, scan more, only read where there is the answer, and you need to locate the answer. And once you practice, now for example, I have solved Cambridge IELTS books from 5 to 20, 5 to 19 so far, 20 I'm planning to solve, okay? So now I know when I start with reading part 1, I read first question, I know I have to search first or second paragraph. And once I find the answer, for example, I found all the answers in second and third paragraph, the next questions I know I need to go to the next paragraphs from there. So you start to understand the whole mechanism of reading. You start to understand examiner's mindset, right? And reading is the most challenging module in IELTS if you are academic IELTS candidate. How many of you are academic IELTS candidates? Good luck. Okay, I can only say good luck. So it means you need to pay more attention to reading. And by the way, I mean, if you are going to apply for studies and you need 6 band for that, 6 band means 23 correct answers. If you need 7 band in reading, that means 30 correct answers. Only 9 band candidates need 39 correct answers. So if your target band is 9, then you need 39 correct answers. So don't worry about that. And once you solve like 8 to 10 tests with me, you will develop interest in such type of things, right? Because all these things are based on research, technology, animals, discoveries and all that. So you will develop your interest and then you will enjoy. Like we are doing IELTS listening part 4. Sometimes they talk about, they talked about maple syrup. Maple syrup is what we use. You know, maple leaf is on Canada's flag, we have maple leaf. So from that tree, they extract maple syrup. And the other day, my son came from Canada and I said, bring maple syrup, because I was very much fascinated the way they extract maple syrup and I wanted to taste maple syrup and all. He brought maple syrup and it was in a bottle, glass bottle, and that bottle resembled wine bottle. So when he arrived Lahore airport, they put his luggage in the screen and they said, you are bringing wine with you. He said, it's not wine, it's maple syrup. Then they opened his bag and said, cha, ab is packing mein bhi aane lag gaya. Something like that, okay? So I learned about maple syrup, the whole process through IELTS listening part 4. Then I learned about migration of zebras in IELTS reading part 3. So once you develop your interest, and one more thing, all the passages that we have in reading, they are reality-based passages. You can always scan them. You can always scan them on YouTube. You can always check them on YouTube. For example, if there is something about maple syrup, you can just go to YouTube and you write it there and it's going to be that. Okay, so practice reading, solve some tests with me. Inshallah, we'll have reading class on Friday and I'll tell you more about it and it's going to be fine, right? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.